I had a schoolmate. He was the only son of his mother, and she was a widow. It was necessary for her to earn a livelihood for herself and boy by working in the homes of her neighbors. It was her custom, after the morning meal, to turn key in the door and go to a day's work, securing her noonday meal wherever she labored, and then returning at night, opening a little cottage and preparing the evening meal for herself and boy. Under this arrangement, my schoolmate was dinnerless. Once it happened that he was dinnerless 3 days in succession. In the afternoon of the third day, he was discovered with his hand in a working man's dinner pail. He had been trying to satisfy the pangs of hunger with the remnant of the man's dinner. What happened then probably could not be allowed now. He was arrested, tried, and sentenced to this reform school for a period of years. I was only a boy, but my heart was hurt. I began to think, boys will think sometimes. I could not understand why someone had not become interested in the boy before he put his hand in that dinner pail, rather than waiting till a petty theft had been committed and then clamoring for punishment. I began to dream. Boys do dream sometimes. And I dreamed that someday I would become a man. And when I became a man, I would build a home. I would build homes. And when I heard of a boy, needy and imperiled, as my schoolmate had been, I would extend a helping hand to him until he should be able to care for himself.
The Goodwill idea remains at the heart of Goodwill Hinkley today, nearly 100 years after the Reverend George W. Hinkley encountered the young lad who missed his dinner. One alumnus has recalled his days at Goodwill Hinkley this way, quote, "I remember the Goodwill roundel with its central figure of a barefooted boy seated in an outdoor setting with legs crossed, mind engaged in thoughtful absorption of the contents of a book, hand plow and sledge reminding of industry, baseball bat reminding of recreation, Bible close to the hand and life of the boy reminding of religion, the boy in the act of reading reminding of education. The whole picture, together with all its component parts, speaking of a home environment in which there was a possibility of disciplined fullness of life." Goodwill Hinkley is a proud landmark bordering U.S. Route 201, midway between Skowhegan and Waterville. The 2,400-acre campus, with some 40 buildings, occupies more than a mile along the Kennebec River. Young people have available to them room to work, play, learn, grow, and mature as individuals. Today, home is at the center of life at Goodwill.
I think the most significant value from the roundel to me is home. I came from a broken home, and I've been married 19 years now to the same girl. And you realize that having a good marriage and a good home is not an accident. You have to work at it. And I think that that's meant a lot to me.
The principal thing is wisdom. Therefore, seek wisdom. Even the walls of Averill High School are instructive. Professor Thomas Riley, Emeritus Professor of German at Bowdoin College, credits Goodwill with instilling the spark to learn more.
I think that any child who is a little serious in life, who wants to do well, will profit from Hinkley. The institution has changed very little since I was there. The ideals are the same, and that's the important thing, the ideals. I myself came with an ability to read, and that has really made my life. I immediately became a steady customer at the library, reading book after book. And at Goodwill, we all had to be active at work in some way. As soon as they found that I loved the library, they made me the assistant librarian at the age of something like 13.
The Goodwill idea was built upon faith and trust. Non-denominational religious instruction is provided each Sunday in the beautiful Moody Memorial Chapel, located at the midpoint of the campus. If there is one common trait Goodwill Hinkley alumni share, it is their attitude towards work. Many successful alumni attribute their good fortune in later pursuits to Goodwill's lessons on how to work.
I also believe that industry and hard work are really key ingredients that I learned while I was here. I spent a lot of time working in the gardens. I found out that wasn't what I wanted to do for a living, but ironically, I have a very nice garden every single year.
But the person who perhaps directed me into the career that I chose, that being science and engineering, was Lawrence Eastler, who at that time was the maintenance director at Hinkley. And I had the fortune to be his handyman, his apprentice handyman, I should add. But his encouragement and direction and questioning of my way I did things just led me to think that might be something I wanted to spend my life doing, and it worked out fine.
Here at Hinkley in those days, as today, the kids did a good work project every week, and slowly gained in momentum from menial jobs to more responsible jobs until I went from wiping dishes, for instance, to handling a three-man crew running the store.
Today, Mark Anderson tends the store.
We've grown very successfully. I know we started with about five candy bars, types of candy bars, and about 2 brands of soda. And since then, we've really grown in our inventory, and we have a good selection now on both candy bars, soda, ice cream, chips, and 5-cent and 10-cent items.
By learning how to work, other problems are mastered as well. Here's Pat Bond.
I've learned a lot over the last 4 years that I've been here, 4 or 5 years that I've been here. I've learned a lot about my temper. When I first got here, my temper was real short, and now it's short, but not as short as it used to be. I'm kind of glad about that. Hinkley's done a lot about that, too.
A child who comes to Goodwill Hinkley is treated as a whole person. Executive Director Dr. James W. Henniger speaks.
I think what makes Goodwill Hinkley unique is the fact that we have a program which treats more than one narrow area of a child's life. We're able to provide excellent role models in the home. We have a fine educational program which provides a solid basic education. We teach work ethics, but above all, we instill strong moral values. And G.W. Hinkley stated so many years ago that if you leave one of these components out, then you have an incomplete child. And we are dedicated to treating the entire child to produce a strong and competitive adult.
But when I first came here, it was like I just automatically made friends. It's everybody, because that's how it is. The whole campus is like brother and sister, everybody. They try to make it as much fun as they can. They try to make us as pleased as we can be pleased. And if we want to do something, we ask them and they say sure, or they just try to make us as happy as we can. If we got a problem, we can talk about it, do good.
Goodwill Hinkley folks enjoy themselves at a wide variety of pursuits, from quiet walks in the woods to cross-country running, from a spirited basketball scrimmage to a quiet time with a few friends. Today, Goodwill Hinkley is melding the best of the old and the new. The important traditions of Hinkley and the values expressed in the roundel are being incorporated into a child care and treatment program to meet the real needs of today's child. Those words are quoted from an assessment of Goodwill Hinkley performed by representatives of Boys Town, in Omaha, Nebraska. When a child comes to Goodwill Hinkley, he or she is assigned to a cottage, a residential home where half a dozen boys or girls live as a family with a husband and wife team known as family teachers. Life in a cottage resembles life in a home. Students and staff share in the responsibilities of their household, from daily chores to helping one another achieve personal goals.
Thank you. Thank you.
Where did you guys get the idea for this? Who gave you the idea to put milk in your soda? You ever try anything else other than Pepsi milk?
You're right. No, it doesn't really taste like anything.
I didn't
though.
taste nothing.
Yeah.
No, it's not bad.
Wouldn't you think that would be the worst combination of something to drink, but it's not that bad.
A little more meat here, enough for one more. I'm getting full now. I can drink. You want to drink this?
No, thank you.
What's
You
the matter?
used a few napkins yourself, didn't you?
Yeah, take scoots, right?
Yep.
Can I be a scoop?
No. No, go ahead.
Don't do this to me.
A caring and professionally trained staff, including faculty, administrators, counselors, and family teachers, provides direction and guidance to nurture the physical, moral, industrial, and spiritual development of every child. After nearly a century, the home remains at the heart of Hinkley. Family teachers and their assistants monitor the behavior and interaction of children, much the same as parents in any family.
This is the Goodwill Home Association. And if we had all those other things and didn't provide a home, there wouldn't be any point in having this institution. So I think, you know, for 4 years, this was my home, and I've considerably beyond the 50-year mark, and I still consider it my home.
Give a boy or a girl poise, courage, ambition, and they will take care of themselves from then on. And that's what happened to me.
This far-reaching work must continue, and a broad base of support is needed. Over the years, Goodwill Hinkley's alumni and benefactors have contributed to its support through annual fund appeals and generous bequests to its endowment. The need continues. Don Bishop is a Goodwill alumnus, a Colby College graduate, a successful businessman, and president of the Goodwill Home Association. Here's his assessment of Goodwill Hinkley's needs in the future.
I'd like to see them get the same chance that I had. We certainly need more endowment monies to help us to get better people, more people, give the children better living conditions.
Dr. Henniger sees the future needs of the organization and Goodwill Hinkley's growth tied to the continued support from a diverse range of sources.
But there are a lot of children that fall between the cracks, and these children are in need of a complete program which we offer at Goodwill. And I think one of the challenges is going to be during the next 100 years to maintain confidence and secure the necessary funds to bring privately funded children to Goodwill, those children who seem to fall between the cracks. The second major challenge that we face is to improve our skills so that we are able to take a child who has a variety of personal situations. Our kids can be summed up in terms of being classified as homeless. Their home is no longer an alternative to them. And we have to continue to hone our skills and secure funding to be able to take more of those children and provide them a complete program as GW designed so many years ago.
And as long as we have homeless children, as long as we have deserving children, we're going to need to grow and expand and continue to offer all of those elements of the roundel. And that's going to be a tremendous challenge because we have a large facility, a growing staff, and it takes money to operate this facility. We have a small endowment, which we're very grateful, but we have to have very wide support of our operation from alumni, from friends, from corporations, from foundations, from wherever. And that generosity is what's going to keep us going, and the challenge is to present our program, let people see what we're doing, and we just know that generosity is going to be there to help us meet the challenge of the future.
Commit thy way of the Lord, trust also in him, and he shall bring to pass. I said in my heart, here is something that I can do. I can commit my way, I can trust, and I will watch for development.